Last time, I built this wonderful bridge so that we can start building on the other bank of the river. But before moving on to that side, I think I should spend a little more time finishing this side of the river first, as it's looking a little untidy and needs some love. I will start by adding a river wall. This would act to protect the road from water erosion. I did try a gradient here, but it just looked dirty, which I didn't really like. So now that the river wall is done, I can figure out what to do with the rest of the bank. I'm thinking I'll add some small bushes to that mini outcrop there, and then add a small forest onto this larger section of land here. For this outcrop, I removed all the grass blocks and replaced it with dirt to make it look like a muddy riverbank. For the larger landmass, I extended the stone river wall along the road and put up some tree trunks. Once I was sure on their locations, I then surrounded those branches with leaves. I haven't made a leaf farm yet, so when I ran out, I had to go to a nearby forest and start hoeing. The shape of the riverbank didn't quite sit right, so you can see that I quickly altered it. While I was there, I also added some smaller trees to thicken the greenery, as it can hardly have been called a forest with that few trees. Yep, I'm happy with the trees in this area now, but I'm not too keen on the ground. It looks too vanilla with the grass blocks and patches of sand. I'm doing the same as I did for the mini outcrop and making the border with the water out of coarse dirt, as I am very happy with the effect I got earlier. I was making great progress before, I ran out of resources. This required just a quick trip to gather gravel from the bottom of the ocean, then combining with our already large supplies of dirt, now I can blend it in with the surroundings to finish. I have realised that I haven't put up any traffic lights at this junction here, and I have this great idea for a design. I'll put up a supporting frame, place down black concrete as a background, but then I'm going to use signs. If we then dye them and apply some glow ink, they start to look like lights. On this one, I'll make an arrow shape, and on the set of lights to the left, there will be a left arrow. This is common in real life, as there are often different lights for turning left, right, or going straight ahead. These lights are cool, but we have a problem. We have nowhere near enough glow ink to do this for the whole city, so a new farm is in order. This area here, in the wake of the mining machine, seems like a perfect place to build a farm. Glow squid spawn underground, with blocks overhead and in low light levels. This area ticks all three. I'm sort of winging it with this farm. My idea is to have a large box with water on top of open fence gates. This will mean that the squids will spawn, fall through, and their ink tanks will then be collected by allays. Finally! I'm finished placing all of the fence gates. That took ages. Time to add the water. I'm just removing some of the closer torches so that the light doesn't seep over the edge and reduce my rates. Oh gosh, sorry for all the noise, but the allays need their note blocks to know where to drop their items. Now that the allays are in, I can give them my last few glow ink sacks, and with this final torch removed, the farm is now ready to test. Before I do so, I'll just light up a nearby water cave to further increase my rates. Oh dear, I've made a terrible mistake. And after all that effort, this farm does not work. I definitely should have tested this in creative first. The problem is that the allays swim upwards, get swimming in the water, and then can't swim back down to pick up the glow ink. I'll need to think of a new solution. I have thought of a solution, but I'll be honest, it's not a good one. But it's the only solution that doesn't involve starting all over again. What I'm going to do is craft loads of hoppers and cover the floor in them. This didn't take too long, but you will definitely need an iron farm, as this required over 8 stacks of hoppers, which is over 40 stacks of iron ingots. Time to AFK. As you can see from the footage, most of the squid end up despawning before they fall onto the hoppers, so this is definitely not an optimised farm. Would I recommend you build this farm? I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't. But if you happen to have more iron than you know what to do with, also have a large area already cleared out underground, and also need some glow ink, then sure, this farm might be for you. Right, I've left for 3 hours. How much glow ink have I got? Okay, 4 and a bit stacks. That's not a rapid farm, but easily enough for what we need for the foreseeable future. I'm done here for now. Time for me to return to the surface for a different project. Now it's time for the largest expansion project yet. This whole mountain is in the way, so it needs to be removed. I'm going to use a flying machine. I'm not a madman, so I'm not doing it by hand. And it will hopefully remove this whole area quite nicely. I know this may seem pointless to some, but I have gone and removed all the animals out of the blast zone, as it felt a little mean leaving them there to get blown up. I have now created an overcrowding problem now. Oops. The mining machine I will use is Ray's Works quarrying machine, so credit to him for this incredible design. I'm setting it off by removing this redstone block. Yes! It works. It started flying, and it looks like I have built it at the right height. The TNT is exploding just above the ground, so we should end up with a nice plateau at this level here. I'll leave it to dig a groove for a bit, and I'll be back once I have some progress. Okay, it's on its second pass through now, so it will keep making this groove deeper. All I need to do now is AFK and occasionally remove water and lava pockets. It takes roughly 4 minutes for the machine to do a row of blocks and move over. I want to clear about 150 rows, so by my rough calculations this will take 600 minutes, which is 10 hours of AFK. I've just stopped the machine for a bit to inspect the progress. I'm over 4 hours in and I'd say I've got about 40% of the way. It'll stop just at that bridge. It's now been nearly 10 hours, and the machine has just a few passes left, but to be honest, I may just mine this last bit by hand as it'll be a lot quicker. Oh my, what a grind that has been. But now as I fly through the bridge, it's just incredible how flat this area now is. I can't wait to start building over here, we have so many plans already. I'm amazed that all this was done by just 2 small flying machines. I'll probably leave them up for a bit, as they look so cool. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, perhaps leave a like or subscribe, as this took many, many hours. I look forward to showing you more progress soon. Until then, goodbye from me.